Hey indoor golfers, on this edition of Gerald's Corner, we're going to talk about TGC Hotkeys. Okay, so when we look at TGC, I've gone to a hole and just hit one out in the middle of the rough so that you can get an idea of how the maps work and the distances and all that kind of stuff. And we'll just run through the hotkey list and we'll highlight them as they come up. So you can also see on your screen, you know, we always have the club up and then shot type up, and then you've got your clubs, like your aim and all that kind of stuff that's normally on there. We're just gonna go through some hotkeys to help you understand where they're at. So we're gonna start with H. H is the hole flyover. So if you hit H, it'll run you over the hole, give you the flyover so you can see where all the bunkers are and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool little view to have. And it also just makes the course look pretty. You can see all the details. Next, very important button, I use it a lot, is Q. So you hit Q, this is what they call the scout camera. So you hit the Q, it zooms in, shows you what's on the opposite end. If you say you change clubs or something like that, it'll move with the club. You know, obviously you get to a putter, it's not gonna go very far, but you know, it'll move that around. You can also, on some clubs, you can move the directional with that as well. So if you want to change your aim, you can do that as well. So I think that this is a good button to have. Number 3, we're going to go E. This is an aerial view or a map view. It also shows you exactly where you're at on the course. So I shanked a drive out there so that we could be in the middle of nowhere and have a blind shot over the gorse. But this gives you a whole overview, tells you how far you are, what the elevation is, where the flag is, where the wind's at, all that kind of stuff. Now the other one is view. So V is the shortcut for your view perspective. When you hit V, it changes how you're looking at the ball. Gets you on top of it, gets you more behind it, gets you even higher. So there's 4 different views you can go through with the V button. If you don't like your look, or let's say you get behind a wall and you can't see it, you can hit V. It'll give you a different view so you can actually see what's going on with the ball. After that, we have C. If you look in the top right-hand corner, C changes your shot type on the Unicore. We're on a Unicore system today. So you hit C, you can hit a chip shot, a flop shot, a punch shot, a pitch shot, and a normal shot. That just helps the launch monitor know what shot you're gonna hit so that it can adjust as it needs to adjust. But I don't play around with this a whole lot, but it's there in case you need it. You know, I think that it's probably a good habit to get into to change a shot if you're gonna hit a chip shot so that it knows that it's gonna be a lower shot and the cameras can look for it at a lower angle, or a flop shot being higher. It just helps it understand. Then you have, obviously, your left and right arrows are how you move your reticle for aiming. If you know you're gonna hit a draw like I do consistently, I always aim a little bit to the right. You can also use, just like you would on a computer game, your A and D buttons to move right and left. So A and D also move right and left. After that, we got Z and X. Z changes your clubs. So right now I'm on a sand wedge. If I hit Z, it goes to a lob wedge. If I hit it one more time, it goes to a putter. If I hit it one more time, it goes to a driver. And then X goes back the other way. So I'm set on a sand wedge. I'm gonna keep it on a sand wedge. Z and X will change your clubs. That helps you in Q, when you're in your scout camera, to see where the reticle is when you change clubs. Next, we have G. So when we do zoom in, you see the green grid on the green. So you see which way the ball rolls. I actually use the green grid a lot when I'm hitting balls in. If you have like a big slope on one side, I'll use that a lot. Some people don't want it on there because it distracts, they just don't like the view. You can hit G and it'll take that off. So G is your green grid button. Add and remove your green grid. Hit G, it goes away. Hit G again, it comes back. After G, we have I. So you can show you the last horrible shot that I hit. If you don't have your data up, like I don't like the data screens, but let's say I hit a shot and it acted funny or it was a misread by the launch monitor, you can hit I and you can see how that shot went. I purposely hit one, blocked one right, just because I wanted to hit it out of the crap and show you what it looked like from that view, especially with the view button. But if you get a popular one on the IXO is 888. So, you know, backspin will be 888, and you know that that shot's probably, one, not gonna go where you want it to, but it looked funny when it was flying. So I is how you get to your screen, show club data window, whatever you wanna call that. R turns on auto rewind. So let's say you wanna hit this 108-yard shot out of the rough. multiple times. You hit R, says shot preview. You can hit a bunch of shots with that. Hit one thin. Once the ball stops, it'll go right ahead and it'll just go right back to that shot so that you can hit it again. This is a great way to practice on the golf course. So we'll just hit one more. Go in the hole ball. Oh, came up short. But that's your R button. It's a great button to use when you want to do that auto rewind over and over again. After that, we have lie grid. So I really like the lie grid when I'm on the green because it actually helps as an aim point. So let's hit one more shot up onto the green and show you how this is going to work for us. So when you're at St. Andrews, there's a lot of breaks and stuff in the green itself. So when we get up to this shot, you see the break in the green. You know, the dots are going a little right, they're going a little left. It's probably going to end up moving a little bit more right to left than it is left to right. But if you hit L, it gives you a better sense of what's going on around the ball. So I like to have that little double feature there. Makes it easier to see exactly where it breaks. And I think sometimes on those really big breaking putts, it'll actually turn the triangle or the square to almost be a cheater for where you should be aiming. So this one looks like it's going to be pretty straight either way. But L is the lie of the ball. M is just like the escape key. It goes to main menu. So you hit M, goes back and forth. It just toggles between the menu and the screen. And then with putting, we've got a whole nother set, right? So when you're on the green, everything works very similar to how it would if you're on the fairway. E is your green aerial view. If you want to see the green grid while you're up there, you hit G, it'll show you the green grid. You hit E again, you go back. Same thing with the green grid. You hit G, green grid comes on and off. From there, you've got your cue. I use this a lot on long putts just because I want to see where the breaks are going to be. It makes it easier a lot of times if you have a 70-foot putt to zoom in on it just to see what it's doing around the hole. After that, we've got the V. V will change your view. Let's just say you can't see the green grid all that well from the view you're on, or you want to see the slopes. You just hit V and you get a better idea of what the break is going to look like. It's easier to see the grid up high. It's easier to see what's going on with the green down low. So you just got to pick out your view, which view you like to look at when you're on the putting green. And then as always, you know, the WASD keys help you move that reticle around. If you need to change your aim or something like that, you can always do that as well. So after that, you know, the only thing we have are the number keys. So the number keys are there to select clubs. So if you look in the top right-hand corner, you go through the numbers, it changes the clubs for you. Just another way to do it if you don't want to use the Z keys. So that's just another thing you can do to play around with it. I think that's all your hotkeys we need to know. Couple of little things to remember when it comes to TGC. If you want to putt from off the fringe, you need to select putter as your club so the launch monitor can adjust. And again, like I like changing the shots and stuff like that with if I'm going to hit a punch shot or something like that, I think that it helps the launch monitor recognize what shot it's going to be. Rewind is a mulligan. Auto rewind is where you want to hit shots continuously. You can declare an unplayable if you don't like where your lie is or you can't get out of a certain place. Those kind of things are always important to watch. And then the other thing I'll tell you before we get out of this video, your distance penalties for the bunkers in the rough. So if you're in the light rough, it's a 7% penalty. So if you're 100 yards, it's going to take off 7 yards. If you're in the heavy rough, it's a 14% distance penalty. So 100 yards, it's actually going to go 86 yards. Bunkers, we'll just call them fairway bunkers. Bunkers outside 40 yards is a 7% distance penalty, just like the light rough. And then bunkers closer than 40 yards are going to be a 40%. So if you're in there and you feel like the 20-yard shot we hit in our bunker video, I had to hit that pretty healthy to get it there. You know, I had to hit about a 50-yard shot to get it out to be that 20 yards, or actually when 50, it'd be like more like a 35-yard shot. But you understand the point. It's a 40% distance penalty. So 100-yard shot's only going to go 60 yards in relative terms. But those are things that you can know with the shortcut keys and stuff like that as well. We'll put a link to the shortcut keys down below so you can check them out, and we hope you have a great day. As always, if you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel. You can leave us any comments down below if you have questions. Follow us on social media. Go to our website, shopindoorgolf.com. You can do a live chat. You can get the phone number if you want to give us a call and talk to us about your options, or you can send us an email to sales@shopindoorgolf.com as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day.